not a game, it's a rich thing.
Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Ben here with Hochman Fabrication and Speed along with Jacob. And it's another day. Still working on Sarah's Mustang. Today, we're going to be installing the heavy-duty torque arm. So, yesterday, as you saw in the other video that we put together, we installed the rear panhard bar, and that went pretty smoothly. And before we can fabricate custom exhaust that we're planning on doing, we've got to get this thing installed. We're also waiting for a couple of components to come in so we can finish up on this BMW 850i custom exhaust project. But in the meantime, keeping ourselves busy with this. One other quick small thing I can show you while I've got you here is something that I whipped up this morning. Given that we installed some new headers on her car, we had to adjust the steering column shaft as well as figure out a way for the oil dipstick to run without having any sort of interference. So what I did is I built this little bracket here that you can see holding her dipstick against the frame rail, and it's got a little dimple die impression on it just to give it a little bit of character. Pretty simple, but it holds it away from not only the new header but also the steering shaft, and yeah, it's pretty simple. But it does have a line of access, as you can see right there underneath that catch can line, which is next to the transmission line. So anyway, it's enough talking for me. We're gonna go ahead and get started on this.
It's not a game, it's a rich thing.
Well, there we have it. Pretty much finished up the heavy-duty torque arm now. Just finished painting, and we're waiting for the paint to dry before we reassemble everything. That's pretty much it. Straightforward application installation. Making sure that it looks clean and is done well. So at this point, just waiting for the paint to dry. Tomorrow we'll go ahead and put everything together, and then we are done with all the chassis work, and we're on to the custom exhaust system for this car. So moving right along, which is the pace that we like. If you guys have any feedback or suggestions for anything you'd like to see in the future, whether it be with my Evo or future projects, let me know. Also, a good reminder to smash that like button and also hit the subscribe button if you haven't already subscribed to our channel. We specialize in building race cars and race car components, showing you the process along the way. And normally there's a lot more racing in the channel, but given the current world events slowing a lot of that down, we're trying to give you the best content we can. So, hope you'll stick with us. We're gonna wait for this to dry and then reassemble it. Well, there you have it. We've got Sarah's heavy-duty rear torque arm installed now on her Mustang. And the only thing I have left to do still is, once Jacob gets here, I'm gonna need his help to get the only thing left to do now is get the sway bar on, which I'm gonna need Jacob's help with once he gets back to the shop here. But that pretty much does it for the suspension and chassis work that we've been planning out for her vehicle while it's here at the shop this trip. This is quite an interesting piece. As you can see, it has to weld to the frame rails, or the subframe rails, I should say. And, you know, I mentioned to her and Ed, I'm like, you know, I've never really seen one of these things before. I see a lot of fast cars at the strip, and I have not seen a single one of these on any of those. Well, it's really more of a road racing application need, I guess. And for that reason, I'm not as familiar with it because I'm more drag oriented. I'm learning more with my customers about the different needs and tips and tricks and things of this nature that people will use on different cars for road racing, and it's quite unique. I'm interested to see how things work out for them as a result of this upgrade, but as far as that goes, it's ready to go. So feel free to leave your comments below. I'm sure those of you that are Mustang fans or experienced Mustang enthusiasts are very well versed in this. Let me know what you think about my install. If you've seen these installed before, where it compares. Is this a better install? Does this look cleaner than most people? I'm curious to know what you think. I'm hoping that I'm above the scale of expectations. Certainly don't want to be below or even meeting expectations for that matter. But yeah. So that pretty much does it for that part of the project here. And the next thing now is to go ahead and start building this exhaust. So we'll get that started now.